Hey, I'm Champaign native Emily Harrington. You're watching the podcast where townies and transplants share their tales of tears and triumphs, losses and wins, proving week after week that everyone has a story to tell. Welcome to HyperLocals. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the next episode of the HyperLocals podcast. We're having some technical issues in the house, but we think we've got it resolved. I haven't had a good night and a good morning, and I cried last night. So I got a hat on and I got puffy eyes, but we're having some dog problems at home. And I told my guest about it, and he said he can relate with his husky. This is Todd Black. Hi, Todd.
Hello.
How's it going?
Hanging in there.
We'll get to your hair. I mean, the elephant in the room. We will get to it. Tell me about your husky.
So I had a husky, pure Siberian husky named Avalanche.
Oh, that's a cute name.
Yeah, I was so clever. It was good. And if it was a girl, we would have named her Blizzard.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, but we had him when I was in third or fourth grade.
Oh, this was a while ago.
Yeah, he was, but he lasted until my college years. So
wow.
Yeah, he was something.
So you must have done something right for him to last that long.
Well, we can hope.
Yeah, your parents did.
But yeah, definitely my parents did.
We had a dog that I did not like for 17 years.
Oof.
And my 7-month-old puppy that I've fallen in love with is giving us some health scares right now. So it's like this is a whole new world for me. But they can't tell you what's wrong with them.
No.
So it's so like kids can, you know?
No.
It is I think I have more sympathy for the dog than I do for the kids.
Facts.
And I think the kids are picking up on it too. Okay, back to you, Todd.
Yeah, if you want.
St. Joe, born and raised.
Yep.
Okay. What was life in a small-ish town like for you?
It was great. I mean, even reflecting on where I am right now, where I still live in St. Joe, I've been in the big city. I was in Chicago for 2 years for college.
Okay.
DePaul University. And I hated it.
Oh, really?
Like, don't get me wrong, school was good. Chicago has its own charm, da bears, and everything. But my dorm was right next to one of the trains.
Oh, no.
And so, like, the train would go by, like, every night. And so I had, like, the 2 worst years of sleep in my life in Chicago. And then, like, traveling to Comic-Cons, I've been to, Philadelphia and Indianapolis and St. Louis and certain other cities. And, they all have their charm, their architecture,
Sure.
the skylines are beautiful. But I could never live there. And then I have a friend who's in New York, and she's like, I could never live in a small town. I'm like, you're lost. St. Joe is just, and I grew there before all the big expansions.
Okay,
like
sure.
We have the big, not the big, but like a sports area.
Oh, yeah.
In the area between it and Ogden. Like that wasn't there before. I lived there when the farthest street going east was Chestnut.
Wow.
And so we would just go there, and there would just be nothing but rough. I remember us collecting caterpillars one time. I liked the simpleness of it all. You could walk everywhere. You could bike everywhere.
Yeah.
My mom even used to work in the town at one point, the local apothecary. And
The local apothecary.
yeah, she was a compounder. She was our Walter White. In the good way. In the good way.
We call that a pharmacy in the big city.
Yeah, yeah.
Apothecary. That is so quaint.
Yeah, it was. Mom loved doing it. She loved making the drugs. Pharmaceuticals. Nothing stops these drugs. And but like I love the quietness of it all. I'm very much not a noise person, which is weird because I like the sound of my own voice. And like there was in my apartments that I've lived in, there was nothing better for me than waking up and hearing nothing.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because it was just that quiet in my neighborhood.
Sure.
And then when I would hear a noise, I would go like, what's that? What's going on?
It would startle you.
It was.
Are you in St. Joe today? Do you live in St. Joe?
Yeah.
Okay. Born in Urbana.
Yeah, born in Urbana.
So that's as far as you've got.
Carl Hospital.
Okay.
And then we moved to St. Joe when I was in second grade.
Okay.
And I've been there ever since.
And you like the small town charm that
love
St.
it.
Joe has.
I love it.
How does Champaign feel to you? Is it too big?
I mean, it's not Chicago. I'll go with that.
Yeah.
I mean, Champaign, Urbana. I've driven all around it. Like I'm a regular on Neal Street for shopping and getting certain things. I've been to the train station plenty of times. I take the train to Chicago instead of driving because I don't want to drive in Chicago.
Oh, sure.
And I think Champagne's a good size. I mean, you know where everything is, but there's also room for, oh, I need to go down this side street or whatever. Champaign-Urbana is good, but when I think of Chicago, that Chicago is like everything is just like looming over you.
Yeah.
I truly had a culture shock when I went there for college, and
it's not the place for you.
It's not the place. I got used to it, but was never comfortable there.
Sure.
So
well, then it was good for a stint in college to expose you, and then you go home.
Yeah.
What kind of student were you? I can guess. I bet you were straight A, very academic.
Yeah, she doesn't know me very well, does she, Dave? No, that was my sister.
Okay.
Ashley. I was the ABC student.
Okay.
I would get A's in the classes I really loved, like literature. When I went to college for video game development, and
how cool!
It was very cool. And like when it was like the writing courses, I got A's, like easy. It was not hard at all. But then when I had to do certain other classes like programming or scripting, I would do terrible because my brain just wouldn't
think in that way.
It just doesn't, and I'm not afraid to admit that weakness. It's the same way with math. I was always terrible at math. I mean, 2 + 2 = 5, but still. But no, I was definitely not this. I mean, if I took all writing courses, I'd be a straight A student, but that was not an option for me, sadly.
So English was kind of your strength.
Well, a type of English, like English literature, where I could like read a story and memorize it. That was easy. English grammar, I suck.
Oh, really?
I cannot do grammar. I just can't. I never fully understood it. I only understood it better in high school, and that was because we did Schoolhouse Rock as a musical, and so I listened to all the songs. I'm like, oh, that's what the conjunction is. Like, I never got it. So, yeah.
That makes me curious. You're a writer today.
Yes.
How does a writer get gainful employment with not knowing, not being comfortable with grammar?
Luck. Okay. Well, there are programs that help with my grammar or lack thereof. Grammarly is the big one. It's very popular. Then there's some sites that have editors, and there's some sites that honestly don't care about the grammar because it's more about just the words themselves.
Sure. Okay.
So it's a balancing act, and I always try to do my best. I've gotten better, especially since with some of my books, I have an editor who says like, Todd, this is how you do it, and she's like, great, like, Todd, you need to stop doing this.
Takes her red pen, yeah.
Oh, I like lots of red pens.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite things, she goes, Todd, people don't talk like this, and I go, yeah, they do. She goes, no, they don't. She believed with all her heart that no one actually refers to their sibling as sis.
Oh, interesting.
And I'm like, I've heard that so many places. And she goes, no, but they only write like that because they don't talk like that, Todd. I'm like, but I talk like that. I've called my sister sis before. So
you'll go to bat for your own writing.
At times, when I feel it's justified.
Did you win the sis debate? Do you remember?
50-50. She just still doesn't believe me. But okay. I know I'm right because I've seen it in video games, TV shows, movies, and my own personal life.
Okay, so you're going to stand by that one.
Well, yeah.
Okay, as you should.
But other times it's like, no, I see what she would like. She's a great editor. I mean, she has apparently terrible taste in men because she loves the character in one of my books that's like the meanest and like most rigid. And I'm like, why would you like him? And she goes, it's just my type. And then like the good characters, the funny characters, she's like, oh, they're annoying as heck, Todd.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
she likes the game, the hard to get, the bad boy.
She likes the Anakin Skywalkers. Okay. That's literally how she phrased it. She loves the Anakins.
Too funny. Any sports in St. Joe? Your St. Joe years?
I was a soccer player up until high school, and then at the time, St. Joe didn't have a soccer program in high school, so I had to stop. And then I was a theater kid from second grade up until senior year. And but yeah, sports was the thing that my dad tried to get me into.
Sure, as most male figures do. Yeah.
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 Well, he was also a referee and an umpire. So, like, baseball was never one. I was always afraid of getting hit. Which, when you look at the major leagues, I'm like, yeah, that happens more than they want to admit.
For sure.
For sure. So, I also had a habit of when I swung the bat, it accidentally, like, let go.
Oh, my God.
So the bat would go flying.
That is looked down upon in Little League. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
For throwing your bat, and you're doing it by accident.
Yeah, because I would throw it so hard, because I would swing it so hard. So,
oh my gosh!
So when I did hit, I would get like a home run. But then if I miss and I let go, it'd go flying.
Well, tell me about drama because I can definitely see you more in that lane What was your biggest performance, biggest role?
Biggest role. Well, I mentioned Schoolhouse Rock. We did that as my senior year musical.
That's cute.
I did the most songs, including Junction, and I had the hat and everything. We found like the striped conductor hat. That was one of my favorites. That absolutely was. Let's see. I did.
Can you sing?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you want to sing something for us?
Oh boy.
Usually people politely decline.
No,
but we'll take you up on it.
Do you want me to do like Junction?
Yes.
Let's see. I think I still remember the words. Junction, what's your function? Hooking up words and phrases and clauses. Junction, what's your function? Hooking up words and phrases and clauses like out of the frying pan and into the fire. Let's see. I flew to sun, but it couldn't go any higher. To go up to the mountains or down to the seas. You could always say thank you, or at least say please.
That was great, Todd.
I can also do K-pop Demon Hunters. No.
That was so good. So after all these years, you remember that? Because I don't remember much past Junction.
Well, you put me on the spot, so I hadn't thought about Junction in a while. But
you did a pretty good job for not doing it for a long time.
For me, I mentioned that I was good with literature. I was good at memorizing songs, and so we had a CD for a Schoolhouse Rock. We had 21 songs from the legendary series. I memorized all of them, even the ones that I didn't personally sing, and it was just fun for me. So I could help everyone else with their songs, and they still stick with me to this day.
You have I would put you in a country song market. I think you could do it.
I can go high, I can go low. No, seriously, like I feel like that I have a very adaptable voice. It just depends on the song I'm listening to. Like, so like in Junction, I was going low because Junction. That's how I remember the song. But then I could do like higher ones. Like I was joking about K-pop Demon Hunters. I do remember their songs, and I can't go that high. I can't go K-pop high, but I can go higher to like match that because my voice tries to auto-tune, I guess, to what they
find the pitch.
Find the pitch, right?
You have many talents, and you're self-deprecating, and you don't think you do. You said you just have your hair, but you got a lot of talents.
No. I don't knock my talents. I knock my looks. Like all I got with my looks is my hair, and I'm fine. And I'm fine with admitting that. But with my talents, I'm fine with saying I'm creative. Like I feel that is my greatest gift, and that's just because I've done so much to where it's not arrogance, because I can literally say I've published 50 books.
Sure.
And,
wow.
And I sell them at Comic Cons, and they do well, and people come back to buy more. So like that tells me that I'm doing something right.
100%. We are going to take our first break, and when we come back, we'll dive a little bit more into writing, publishing, and what happens after St. Joe High School.
Okay.
And we are back with Todd, and he sang another song during the break. And it was like pretty incredible. No one has really ever taken me up on singing, and Todd has the confidence to do it on cue.
Yeah, if we were doing karaoke together, I'd be like, okay, like what's my first song? Like, what are we doing here?
What's your ultimate karaoke song?
As I mentioned with Kelly, it'd be "I Love Rock and Roll" by Joan Jett.
Oh yeah, that's okay. You can't go wrong with that.
Exactly, Dave. He mocked me last time.
Dave is our he's the third man in the he's always the third person in the room that people like. Oh, there he is. Yeah. People like to look at him and involve him, but he wants to be invisible, but he can't. I mean, he's just too compelling that we have to include him in our conversations. Yeah. Okay, St. Joe High School, where did you apply to college then?
Well, when I was in high school, it was not the best experience. I'm not afraid to admit that it was not a great period of my life.
High school
was terrible. And so when I was in a senior year, Mom was talking to me about colleges. I was like, I'm sorry, you think I'm thinking about college? I'm just trying to survive high school.
Oh, wow.
I was absolutely that kid. And Mom was like, well, look, I know you like video games and creating and such. So Parkland just opened up, at the time, their digital media program.
Okay.
And so she's like, why don't you go do that? And I'm like, that's fine. Because I didn't have scholarships. I think my sister was a straight A student. And so Parkland was cheap. And I went to do that for 2 years, and it was great. I loved Parkland, and graduated there. And then they had what they called a 2+2 program with various other colleges, where the credits would easily transfer to other places, and one of them was DePaul University in Chicago. And DePaul had a video game development program, and at the time, Chicago was one of the predominant places for video game development as a whole in the United States, because they had numerous studios there. So I was like, maybe that's where I'll end up. Maybe that's where I'll get to make video games. And so I went to there for 2 years, and I graduated Bachelor's of Science in 2012. So
2 plus 2.
Yeah.
Does Parkland still do that? Do you know?
I honestly don't know.
Sounds like a great thing.
I would imagine they do, because junior colleges are very important all over the country, and especially now with how expensive colleges are. I'm like, my God.
Sure.
DePaul was great, but the loans took a while to pay off for sure.
So it wasn't on your mind to go to college, but it certainly was on your mom's.
Well, yeah.
To push you in that direction.
Again, I was just trying to survive high school. I mean, my future was like, I can't even think about that right now.
Okay, so let's talk about high school.
Okay.
Worst parts, best parts, any parts.
Best part.
You don't have fond memories of it. Let's say that.
No, I don't.
Okay.
But the best part was, honestly, it was probably drama. I loved doing the plays and the musicals. I had fun. I even would scare, in a hilarious way, my fellow acting crews, because, as I mentioned, I would memorize songs, but I would memorize scripts, like all of it. And so one day, I think it was like junior year, I started quoting the sophomore play that we did like well over a year prior, and to one of my co-actors, and they're like, "You remember that?" And I go, and so I started quoting one of her lines, like it was a nice big monologue. And she goes, "How do you remember that?" I just go, "That's what I do."
Wow.
So drama was great, especially in that senior year where we really got to cut loose and do like a Schoolhouse Rock. I really loved that one. We had like full choreography. We had all the songs. It was amazing. Worst part, aside from classes, because every student's going to say that. Was
in classes, unless you were interested in them, then you would excel.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But what was the bullying? I was very much the kid that got bullied a lot, and I was picked on constantly by so many people, and I absolutely was in a situation where I would do the right things, I would tell the teachers, I would tell the principal, and then nothing would happen, or even sometimes I would get blamed. And it led to some very bad moments, and I don't wish that on anybody. So
it's interesting to me when you tell me that about high school, that didn't influence how you felt about the town. Because you still have a soft spot in your heart for St. Joe.
Yeah, because I knew that it wasn't that wasn't St. Joe. That was just some really bad people, really arrogant people, and I never even thought about it like, oh, I want to move out of here. No, that was my sister. She couldn't wait to get out. I'm very much a home kid. I live close to my parents, which is great because they need me like all the time.
Sure.
Todd, something's wrong with our computer. Fine, I'll be right over. But no, I love the town, and the people are just a part of it. It's not the only part of it. So. Do
you ever have to be in the grocery store and see X, Y, or Z, that jerk from high school?
Thankfully, no, but I have run across a few of them in my days since then, and I was triggered at times. And one of them admitted, they were a jerk. I'm like, well,
really?
Duh.
Oh, no.
Others, not so much, and I've had to deal with that with my own way. So I still have some, resentment, because that influenced how I am in many ways, because I'm now the person that does my best to try and stop such acts. And if I were to have a kid, I'd make sure that it would not happen to my son or daughter, because I don't want them to have the same experience that I had.
How do you think that today, how did that shape you as an adult?
Well, the biggest thing is awareness, because especially when you look back at certain things, you wonder just how much they know. Like, I know that my dad, because of his height, because he was really tall, was not bullied. And mom was one of five. Then again, he was one of 5 kids too, and he had an older brother who was bigger than he was. So he's probably used to it. Mom was one of 5 kids, 4 kids, and 5 kids? No, 4 kids, and had to think, how many family members do I have? So she had that. It was just me and my sister growing up, and so.
The protection wasn't there.
The protection wasn't there, especially for my sister. She definitely did not protect me, despite what my parents like to say. So like I was on my own for many ways, and even though I had a crew who would back me up,
Friends.
yeah, they weren't there all the time.
Sure.
And in some of the situations, like the bullies were protected, like they were straight up protected. Like one of them had a parent who was a teacher, and they were, and so I remember going to the guidance counselor one time explaining what happened, and they're just like, "This, why do you think this is a bad thing?" Like, because this is happening. How do you not realize that this is happening?
It sounds like a teen angst movie. I mean, how it's set up.
Yeah, mine was very much a drama in so many ways, and I'll never forget there was a TV show on Fox. It was called The Gifted. It was a spinoff of the X-Men franchise. Dave's nodding his head. He remembers that. Go, Dave. And there, like the first episode, there was a scene where the main character's parents go to the guidance counselor, and their son had been bullied, like legit bullied. And I'll never forget it. The guidance counselor looked at them and go, "No, that did not happen. There is no bullying happening at the school." And my eyes go wide. I'm like, he did not just say that. And so he doubles down. He's like, "We have a zero tolerance policy against bullying. Your son is not being bullied." And the parent went off. I'm like, yes, go you do that. You tell them. Like he got the counselor to like run out of the room to get the principal because he's like, you think I'm lying?
Sure.
How dare you?
Sure.
And I felt that because that absolutely happened to me at school at time. And I was friends with the principal. I was friends with the teachers, and they did their best, but the bullies don't care. So.
Was this physical or name calling?
Physical at times, name calling at others, just verbal abuse and even manipulation, you know, and like I won't name names. I could, but I won't name names. But like one of them like just felt that they were untouchable, and I was going to be there to make sure that they understood that they were not.
It was okay. Yeah.
So
they found power in what they're doing. Yeah.
Yeah. This got dark, by the way.
Okay, thank you for. It often will get light. It gets dark before it gets light. Okay, but thank you for sharing that because I don't think you weren't prepped in that way.
No, I was not.
Okay, we're gonna take our second break, and when we come back, we will get back on a lighter note.
If you want.
Okay. And we are back. Okay, you have referenced your sister a few times. Is she, as an academic, was it hard kind of living in her shadow? She's older or younger?
3 years older than me, yeah.
Okay. So did you have to live up to that?
It felt that way at times. My parents would not admit that, but they absolutely did.
Okay.
They wanted me to be like her, and I'm not.
Yeah.
At all. I'll give you, this is a true story.
Okay.
Okay, and I this was forever burned into my brain. I was in the 4th grade. My sister had already proven her academic prowess, blah, blah, blah. And I was like an A-B student, which I was fine with. And in the 4th grade, my mom was like, "Hey, Todd, I want to challenge you to do better." Okay. So here's what we're going to do. If you get 1 A on your report card, you're going to get a gift. If you get 2 A's on your report card, you're going to get a better gift. Get all A's on your report card, you're going to get like the best gift. I'm like, okay, so I worked hard, did my best, get my report card. It's all B's.
Oh.
And I cried. I was like, I'm so sorry, Mom. I did my best for this. And she goes, "It's okay, Todd. Go to here. Your gift's in there." And it was a video game that I had been wanting. But like that burned in my mind. I was like, as time went on, I thought about it. I'm like, why did she do that? She wanted me to be like her.
Oh.
So
you didn't feel accepted for your differences?
Not at first. Mom, they got better at it, but they never accepted that they tried to make me like Ashley. But I could see it all the time. And
this is okay. That's your sister.
Sorry, I didn't mean to name her. But yeah, she was straight A's, top of the class. She got scholarships to various colleges. She almost went to Michigan State, but then she went to Kansas, which is 9 hours away. Thanks, sis. See?
Sis, you used the name sis, yeah.
Sis. Told you. But yeah, those were terrible drives. Like, there's nothing in Kansas.
No.
There's nothing in Kansas.
I want to talk about, we talked about bullying in high school.
Yeah.
Did you have your hair like this in high school?
No. My mom kept cutting it short, so I got picked on for other things. I mean, I have no doubt if I had this in high school, I would have been picked on for it. But no, it was very short back in those days.
Tell me about the choice to grow your hair out.
So ironically, during the high school musical Schoolhouse Rock, my mom got it in her head that I should grow my hair out big. I'm like, why?
Oh, this was your mom's idea.
At first. And she goes, well, it's just, because you're doing school, you want to have it grow nice and big or whatever. And I had no idea what the heck she was talking about. I'm like, yeah, sure. I don't have to cut my hair for a couple of months. I'm great. So my hair was like very much up here. It was very like poofy and all up there. I still can't believe how interesting it looked back then. And then after the musical, we had to cut it.
Okay.
So going to college, of course, I didn't cut my hair in Chicago. So it would grow for a few months, and then I'd come home and I have to cut it because Mama didn't want to look at it. So fast forward to 2019, been on my own for years. I'm growing out my hair, and it's not to this level, but it's still up here. And my mom has her birthday in the middle of December.
Okay.
And so I go over to the house one day, and she looks at my hair, and she goes, Todd, I'll make you a deal. If you cut your hair before my birthday, I'll never ask you to cut it again. Deal.
So you took it.
I took it, and then of course this thing called the pandemic happened, so that like
just
helped.
Exacerbated the length.
Yeah. And so like it started up here, and then all of a sudden it started to drop, and in my parents' living room. Yeah, it did. And so in my parents' living room, they have like a menagerie of pictures on like this terrace area, and one of them is of my mom in her like college young adult years, and her hair looks like this.
Oh wow!
So my hair was always destined to be. It just needed the time to do it.
So funny, and people compare you to multiple notable stars.
Yes.
Okay, I said Weird Al Yankovic.
Weird Al Yankovic is the popular one. Yes.
And then you said Slash.
Yeah, Slash.
And I can really see that too.
I just need the hat and the dirt and the shades, obviously. Then,
Yes.
Brian May from Queen.
Okay.
And then I get a like 16th century philosopher or something like that. So
have you ever used that to your advantage during Halloween?
I should.
You should.
It's never come up, but like I could easily get like, a flamboyant shirt and an accordion and be done with it.
Be done with it.
So,
you said your hair is the only thing, because I said to you, you must feel really grateful to have your hair.
I am.
As an aging 30s man, right? Because this is where it starts to go.
Don't remind me.
But you said this is all I've got.
That's all I got in terms of looks.
In terms of looks, your hair is your best quality.
Yes.
So you're going to monopolize on it as much as you can.
Yeah.
What's the care like? Washing, drying, products.
Okay, so it starts in the morning. It starts at 7 a.m.
Okay.
No, it doesn't. I had her. It's like it takes multiple bottles of shampoo and conditioner, and then the most elegant brushing to do. No, I don't. As weird as it may sound, I honestly don't have to take that much care of it. Like how it looks right now, that's just how it comes out.
Okay.
I do shower every day, mainly because I do workouts, and so I obviously need to
So you
shower.
wash your hair every day?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wash my hair every day. I use Head and Shoulders. It's a good brand and a product plug. And then if I need to comb it, I'll use like a pick and just poof it out a little bit. Otherwise, I just let it be itself.
You let it be itself.
Yeah.
Do you foresee this hairstyle for years to come?
Yeah. Unless there's a compelling need for me to cut it, the hair stays.
Okay, good for you. You really own it. As much as you've been through, I feel like you're a pretty confident guy. Do you disagree?
I'm confident in certain things.
Okay.
Like I'm confident in my writing. I'm not afraid to say that. And I'm confident in my hair. I'm confident in shows like this because I stage trained, so I know how to play to the camera.
Okay.
And everything. So I rarely get nervous when it comes to things like this. But then there's other things I'm not confident in, and that's okay. I'm not afraid to admit that. So I go with every person. You got the things you love to do and the love you're ready to perform for. And then other things she's like, oh, I got to do this. Like, yeah.
So you know your strengths and weaknesses.
Yes, I'm fair. I think it's fair in saying that.
Okay. Where do we get to the first job for you, the first career move out of DePaul?
Okay, that's a story in and of itself. So, like probably most college students, I got my degree and I thought I'm going to go right into my field. And in fact, my field was right down the street.
Oh, wow.
With Volition.
Oh, sure. Okay.
I interned with them during my junior year. They were making a game called Saints Row the Third, best summer ever. Like it was 2.5 months of just playing video games testing video games all day. I was a QA tester. It's quality assurance.
That is so neat.
Yeah, they had like basically infinite food and drink, so I definitely gained weight that summer. And I would go in early so I could just get the work done and then be home by like 5. And we had overtime, but it was good kind of overtime. They would always make sure they ordered meals for us.
Wait, so this is a paid internship?
Oh yeah, it was great.
Jeez.
I loved it.
Ideal.
And by the time I got done, everyone was saying, Todd, we want you back. So I was like, great. So I leave college, and then not too long after I get back, they had another QA opening, and I applied. And I didn't get in, and that really hurt. And so I had to go do other jobs, and I did a warehouse job, which was a murder. And then I worked at a local Meijer.
Okay.
I worked at Carl Hospital. And it's just like I kept bouncing around because they were jobs, not careers.
Sure,
like this is not what I paid a lot of money in college for.
Right.
And then it got to a point where things just kept happening, and I kept losing these jobs, and I was just so tired. So I had to eventually get some good luck, and that's what led me to doing writing for like websites and YouTube channels, which was not even a thing I considered as an option before.
Okay, we're going to take our third break, and when I come back, I want to know how you feel today about that job that you didn't get, that you expected. Okay, when we come back. And we are back. Okay, Todd, we left with some disappointing events. You said people could promise me something, and there's no follow through. So you were promised a job at this career you were gonna love.
Yep.
And it fell through.
Yeah.
So my question was there any? Did you ever like write a letter? Did you ever knock on the door?
Yeah.
How'd you follow up?
I did everything I could. I even straight
Wow.
up, at the advice of my father, which I'm sure he thought this was a great idea, I straight up just went to the place to try and get an interview because I thought that was the only thing I had left.
Like knocking on the front door.
I literally knocked on the front door, and then it was like if they didn't let me in, but which is fine. I understand. But then I literally went to the CEO of the company via LinkedIn because we had been connected through my internship, and I laid out what happened, and I'm like, hey, I don't understand why this is happening. And then he told me what was in my record, and I'm like, that's not true at all, and that's easy to prove. And then he looked up what I did, and sure enough, there was a huge conflict. Now I found out there was later a scandal there from a coworker of mine whose husband worked there, and I was just like, how did I get wrapped up in that? That doesn't even make sense. I was a QA tester.
Sure.
So it hurts because, when you're young, you're told, push for your dreams, fight for your dreams, and then you'll get your dream job. I haven't had that luck.
Yeah, okay.
I've gotten incremental luck where I've done like writing for video game websites, which has been fun, but even that's come with some tragedy. And you get to the point where you wonder if you're ever going to make your dream job, and then you see other people getting like their dream jobs, and
hard.
like exactly, and you should never compare yourself. That's easy to say when it's not you.
That's difficult for sure. You said that those some freelance jobs came with some tragedy, meaning they didn't end well.
They didn't end well, including a very recent one, sadly enough. But like, and when it comes to these freelance gigs, you know that they're gonna end eventually because like something more than likely is going to happen, especially with how the industry is right now with AI, and a lot of sites are like, oh, we'd rather hire AI than people. I didn't get that, thankfully, but I had some very bad job endings just this year, and it hurts because you give yourself to these jobs and you put everything you have into them, and then you're given the most bold reasons to be let go.
Sure.
And you're like, is this my fate in life?
You said that AI, it hasn't happened yet. Do you believe that it'll slowly take over your value as a writer?
Well, Judgment Day is inevitable. All right. I've actually technically have seen it to where I mentioned one of my jobs that I've done is YouTube script writer, where I literally write the scripts that a narrator will say over the video while the images are being put on.
Okay.
And like that was a very good gig, And I did that for years across numerous YouTube channels. It was a lot of fun most of the time. And then last year, the channel I'd worked for literally sold to a company who wanted to just use AI writers.
Okay.
So that was a huge paycheck gone. And then when I went to a guy who had given me numerous other jobs because he really liked my writing style, he's like, Todd, I'm going to let you know because of the AI thing we're going on right now, might take a while to get you another job. And sure enough, he hasn't found one for me.
Okay.
Because the market itself is like, why hire people when you can hire AI?
For sure.
So
you've literally seen this happen.
yeah.
Okay.
And it's terrible.
And probably just will accelerate in pace.
In theory. Well, we have seen some bubbles bursting in the AI market, and a lot of people are hoping it bursts further because then we can get back to, actually doing our jobs.
Human into human, yeah.
Human to human. We even saw, did you hear about the Sora AI thing?
No.
Okay. Long story short, Sora AI was a generative AI service that people like you or I could use to create whatever videos by typing in prompts. They made a huge deal with Disney. This was a huge deal. Disney made a $1 billion investment into Sora AI so that their Disney characters could be used in these videos.
Okay.
So you could have, like, say, Mickey Mouse high-fiving Aladdin or something like that. We all knew it was stupid, and we just waited for the bubble to burst. It lasted all of 3 months. And then Sora AI went under, and then they repurposed themselves as a robotics company.
Oh, wow.
The thing that are built by humans.
Sure.
So, and then Disney was trying to get their money back, and then Disney just laid off like 1,000 or so people. And while they probably won't say it's specific because of AI, it's because of AI.
Making them irrelevant.
At times, yeah. And it's stupid. It really is.
So it's not a perfect science yet. There's some flaws.
It never will be.
Yeah.
I mentioned one of the jobs I lost earlier this year. One of the last things I wrote for them was about how AI can't match human creativity, and I used certain internet channels to reference that. And the main point of it was that AI can replicate, it can't create. You can't have every human, whether it's you, me, Dave, whoever, we have these little quirks in us to where we see things differently. Yeah. And then when I'm writing like one of my books or one of my comics, I put my own personality and quirk into that because I think like, oh, this would be unique, this would be interesting. And then if you tell it to an AI, it's like, hey, give them all Star Trek, and then you say, make me a Star Trek story. It could do that because it has the Star Trek knowledge, but it won't have those little details, those little nuances that highlight what it is to be a true human creator. And that's the difference. Like, we're not saying that AI can't make stories. It absolutely could if you program it enough. But the thing that makes the creative process fun is putting yourself into it and pushing things beyond what some people expect. And then even with where we are right now with like Hollywood, they're trying to do is sequels and revivals and whatever. And then you finally get something that's original and fun, like K-pop Demon Hunters. We keep mentioning that. No one expected that to be a huge hit. And I can prove that because Sony sold it to Netflix. It was their property. They're like, yes, this isn't going to make anything. Give it to Netflix. It blew up because people could feel the love and connection and the beauty of the songs and the characters, the Huntrix and even the Saja Boys. Suddenly I want a soda pop. But like that's the difference.
Sure.
Like I guarantee you, AI could never make K-pop Demon Hunters because between the story and the song lyrics, you could feel the passion and the emotion and the nuances that the creators, that the team worked so hard to create, and that's the difference.
Well, thank you for touching on that because I know it's on a lot of people's mind right now.
Yeah.
Let's talk about you getting into a series of local jobs that just didn't work out, and you get involved in freelancing.
Yeah.
So how do you get jobs through freelancing? What's the format?
Luck. And it sounds like a bad joke, but after losing my job at Carl Hospital, my dad was like, maybe you should be an Uber driver.
Oh, geez.
And I did that. And
you'd be kind of a fun Uber driver.
I did my best. And
Did you serve water and mints?
No, I was not that kind of guy. But I could be the entertaining driver, or if you needed me to be silent, I would do that. And yes, I do have stories. We can get to those later. But obviously, I knew that this would not be sustainable because even with a college town like we have, and that was the only godsend I had there, was that there was always a college kid that needed to be driven around at times, or people who just needed to get to certain places. I knew it wasn't sustainable. So I found this place called Upwork. I believe it's still up today. And I was just looking for job openings, and one of them was for writing for YouTube. And I applied. I got in like really quickly. And that literally led to me getting all these other YouTube script writing jobs where I could quit Uber because this was paying more. And then that led me to certain other websites that I found, which led to the job that a job that I had recently just lost after 4 years of work. I got into that one on luck because a friend of mine had worked there, and they're like, hey, we're looking for a person to do this job. Here's what it pays. And everyone's like, oh, that's too low. That's too low. I'm like, that's money. What do you want from me? I'm a simple guy. I will work for this. And then sure enough, I did it. I crushed it. And then they started giving me more work, which led to better pay. And even when they put me on salary eventually to cap things, I seriously almost bankrupted them 1 month because they're like, you have no cap on how much you could make. Just make sure you do all the work. And so I was just like, done. And I made like a lot that month. And like, okay, maybe not that much, Todd. Doing a little too well. But
it sounds like you kind of found your thing.
I did. I love it. I love website writing. I love writing features about various things. Again, that's my creativity and passion coming through to where I can, even when I'm doing reviews, I'm like, okay, here's what happened, here's why it happened, blah, 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 but here's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
And I loved doing that across video games, TV shows, movies.
You'd be great at reviews.
I like to think I am.
Yeah.
So.
Really great. Okay, we're going to take our last break, and when we come back, I want to talk about the 50 books you've published, which is sounds like an amazing feat when we come back. And we are back with Mr. Todd Black. Okay, Todd. 50 books.
Yep.
Tell me about the first book and that you self-published these, meaning this comes out of your pocket.
Yes.
To produce.
Yes.
What was the first book?
The first book was a superhero comic called Guardians.
Okay.
And I grew up on the superhero cartoons of the 90s. So like Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, X-Men, all of them. And so eventually once I got into high school and I really started to feel the writing bug get me, I started asking myself, like, what is my superhero story? So I wrote some short stories for assignments, whatever excuse I could to get it out of my head. And then when I was at DePaul, I went to my very first Comic-Con called C2E2. And there was a panel there called Making Comics the Marvel Way. And they had a legendary writer there named Matt Fraction, who's currently the writer of Batman.
So you knew his name. You know who this was.
Oh yeah, I knew. Okay. Like I was reading his comics. He was writing an Iron Man at the time.
Okay.
And like he was a big deal. So I went to the panel. They had a Q&A part, and I went to him and I was like, "Hey, I'm a writer. I have an idea for a story. What should I do?" And he goes, "If you want to make comics, find an artist to make comics."
Find an artist.
Find an artist to make comics.
Meaning an illustrator?
Yes.
Is it okay?
You could write it. You could say it either.
Okay.
Way.
Okay.
So I tried to do that, but there's this thing called money, which I did not have. So fast forward a couple of years, and I was at a job that I really didn't like. It was just destroying me internally. And I was like, I got to do something to make me happy. So I was like, I'm going to try to make the comic. So I go to the site, and I find a couple artists who are willing to work with me, and we make it. And it still stands out as one of the best visual books I've ever made. It had a really good team, one of whom is named Alex Garcia, who is my current recurring artist I use across numerous books I do. And I just got bit even harder by the bug. And so we just started making the comics one after another. And we did 20 issues of Guardians. And then eventually I was like, I want to go do something else. So that's when I first started really doing Kickstarter. And I funded numerous books. Like at least half of what I have has been produced because of Kickstarter. So very grateful for that.
How do you break even on these? Do you lose money? Do you make money?
Depends on the book.
Okay. You obviously have a community supporting you.
Yes, and I'm very grateful for them. Just in my most recent ones, for a book called Tokyo Blade Detectives, I had over 110 people support every single book on Kickstarter, which is amazing because I definitely didn't start out with that. and you try and grow. And then I have followers at like Comic-Cons and like, oh, I saw you last year. What's your next book? And I've made some really great friends via the Comic-Cons that I do. So, and now I have 50 books across comics and novels, and I'm still making more.
I want to talk. Where do you sell your books in town?
In town, I do not. I do not have them in any stores, sadly. The only place I probably could sell them would be either Barnes & Noble, which I don't think I could get into, or my local, the comic store, Dark Tower Comics. Online, most of my books are on Amazon. There's also a digital service called Global Comics, which is very popular with the indie crowd. And those are the main two places. And then whenever I do a Kickstarter, I offer all of my books so that people can get what they want in case they don't just want the book I'm offering.
The comic book store.
Yeah.
That seems like an ideal place to sell your goods.
And I've tried that before. I did have one published comic called 5 Bullet 6 Men from a Source Point Press, and that did make it into the store, like on the rack. And I remember that day it finally showed up. It was like, oh, that's my book. So
how exciting!
It was very exciting, and it still remains one of my best-selling comics that I've ever done. I was just at a con in Kansas City, Missouri.
So these go on all over the nation. Yearly, annually, the Comic-Cons?
Oh, every year. I was just at one last weekend in Decatur.
In Decatur.
It was called Midwest Toy and Comic Fest. They're about to do a show in Springfield. I won't be in that one this weekend, but I will be at a Saluki Con in Carbondale, Illinois.
Wow.
Run by a good friend of mine, Nathan Bonner. And I was just at Planet Comic Con Kansas City, which is one of the biggest ones in the region, earlier last month. There's one in June called Superman Celebration in Metropolis, Illinois. I highly recommend that. It's a great little show. There's ones in Indiana and Kentucky. I do one in Michigan called Grand Rapids Comic Con. And Comic Cons are just a great place for people like me to reach new people and show like there's other things out there besides just DC and Marvel.
This is your people, right?
Yeah, these are my people.
Okay, so Kickstarter, books.
Yeah.
The comic book store.
Yeah.
You and Dave collectively said something that I don't think I'll ever forget as long as I live. That Wednesdays are the new comic books come out.
It's literally called New Comic Book Day.
To who?
To the people. to the ones who know.
Is this national? Is this a universal? That blows my mind. So on Wednesdays, every Wednesday, you're heading to this local comic book store.
Yes.
And you're doing what exactly? Going through new bins? They have new...
Well, it depends on the kind of collector you are. For me, I'm there specifically for the new comic books. They have a nice little rack, and they show, or they lay them out issue by issue. And then I go, okay, I need that one. I want that one. That's the next issue of that series. Ooh, that's a new series. Let me pick that up. And then I just go and buy them. And every Wednesday at 5 p.m., I go and read them.
Okay, you're reading them. You're not leaving them in their plastic pristine.
No.
That's not what...
That's not me.
That's not
I know people who do that, but that's not me.
Okay. How much is a comic book running these days?
Currently, depending on the size and the importance of it, it can be anywhere from $4 to $6 an issue.
Okay, that's affordable. Not if you get like 20, I guess.
Well, yeah, it's like it depends again on who you are, your budget.
Yes.
It used to be like they were $2.99.
Yeah, that's what's in my mind.
$3.99 max, and then of course just things got more expensive. And then there are like special issues which are thicker, so obviously they cost more. Variant covers are a different story because those always add more value to them.
Art foil.
There you go, holographic, exactly.
Okay.
But generally these days they tend to be $4 to $5 an issue.
Okay. Tell me about the two books that you brought to show us.
So I held this one up earlier. This is my novel, As We Wanted to Star, is my tribute to things like Star Trek, Star Wars, Babylon 5. This is one of my more recent ones. We're actually about to drop the third book on Amazon. And this was just fun because I grew up on Star Trek TNG and Star Wars, the original Star Wars movies.
TNG is the Next Generation.
That's right.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Engaged. And I love those stories. And then my dad introduced me to Babylon 5 later on in life, and that was just masterful storytelling. And so much like I did with my superhero series, I was like, what would my sci-fi story be? And so I came up with As We Wanted the Stars, and it's been a lot of fun just coming up with clever stories and fleshing out my crew of the ship we call the Wayfarer, and thinking about how things look and imagining the special species that we meet and all that. And I've already got ideas for book 4 and on, so that's a lot of fun, and I've been enjoying that. And then for those familiar with the podcast network that I am on currently, there is Seekers of Science, which I was talking about with Kelly Finley on her show. And this is a STEM education book that's on Kickstarter right now until April 30th. And this is a true science education series starring 2 real friends of mine, Tracy Finara and Tamara Robertson. And in every issue, or in this case volume, we solve real-world problems with real-world science. We have DIY experiments. We have interviews with experts. It's really fun, and we're trying to inspire the next generation, show that you can be a part of science and do so many wonderful things with it.
What inspired you specifically on the science-related book?
Yeah.
What inspired you to take that kind of almost educational route?
Honestly, it was Tamara and Tracy. They were on a TV show that I was watching called Mythbusters: The Search, and all the hosts of the show were on Twitter at the time. Yes, it's still called Twitter. And I was following all the hosts, and I just saw Tamara and Tracy get into a conversation with some fans one day, and they were like, we really love science and STEM, and we want to promote it however we can. I'm like, well, I'm a comic writer. I can help with that. So I just straight up DM'd them and was like, hey, I'm Todd. I'm a comic writer. Would you want to maybe do something like this? And they said yes. And I'm like, why can't it always be the CC? So we just got talking. We came up with the title of Seekers of Science, and we've made 7 issues so far. The Kickstarter is for issue 8. All past issues are available on the Kickstarter. So I'm inspired by them because they really love what they do. They're really good at what they do. They're real life scientists and engineers, and
They're 2 women on a TV show.
And they've done other TV shows.
Okay, I'm familiar with Mythbusters.
Yes.
Okay.
So, but they've done a lot of work. Like Tracy's a regular on Weather Channel.
Oh my gosh, how cool!
Tamara's hosted her own show on like Science Channel before. So they're incredible women, just point blank. And then they're so smart. They're so talented. And then my job is literally just to take what they want to do with each issue scientifically, and I just try and make it
a story
that you and I can understand without having to hear like infinite amounts of science jargon. So it's been a lot of fun. We've donated over 1 million copies to various schools, Comic-Con, science camps, and we want to keep going, and we're hoping this Kickstarter will help with that.
Okay, so where can people find the Kickstarter or find you?
Yeah, well, for the Kickstarter, just go to seekersofscience.com.
Okay.
And right on the front page, we have a link to the Kickstarter. And again, we have rewards where you can get all the issues in physically, digitally. You can get them in English or Spanish. We have rewards where you can get drawn into the comic, or you can get multiple copies to donate. Idea. Yeah, or you can get multiple copies to donate to classrooms so that more people can see what this is. To find me, I am on Amazon. That's where most of my books are.
He has an AOL email.
I do have an AOL email. I am proud of that. It works. Why would I change it? I'm on Twitter at Guardians_comic, reference to my first book. Same thing for Instagram. Also on Blue Sky, Todd Black Social, I believe it is. And I'm also on Facebook. You find my personal page there. We also have a Seekers of Science Facebook page you can go and check out. So I'm around.
Todd, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time and your energy.
Thank you.
You brought it.
I did my best.
Thank you. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good day. Thank you for listening to this week's HyperLocal show. If you like what you hear or you need anything from me, let me know at hyperlocalscu.com. Also, search and follow HyperLocalsCU on all social media. Like me, follow me. Bye.